This is Donald Wade, FTE211 Module 5. Today is 8 February 2025. There's 5 parts to this assignment. Okay, so for part 1, we've got a removed feed source. I have done two snap caps in here. Remove the feed source, check, verify, make sure it's clear. First, we're going to perform a dry function check. So to do that, I will allow the slide to go forward. And what we're looking for is we're looking for full lockup of the slide to barrel. Thumb safety is on safety. Depress the grip safety, squeeze the trigger, nothing should happen. Okay, put it on fire. Without depressing the grip safety, we'll squeeze the trigger, nothing should happen. Okay, I'm going to use my middle finger here to depress the grip safety. I'm going to use my thumb to squeeze the trigger. And I'm going to use my index finger because I want to ride this hammer up to the slide, to the firing pin. So I'm going to depress the grip safety. I'm going to go ahead and put my finger on the hammer. And what I want to do is I want to squeeze the trigger and allow the hammer to fall. I don't want it to slam because I've got nothing in there. Okay. So what I want to look for and listen for is the hammer drop in to make contact with the firing pin and make sure that grip safety functions as well as the trigger. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through this relatively quick. Safe, nothing should happen. Fire. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the hammer. I'm going to hold and maintain the trigger. I'm going to rack the slide, allow it to reset, and I'm listening for the metallic click of the trigger resetting on the sear. Okay, do that again. Okay, so now we'll do a functions check with the dummy ammunition. And what we're going to look for is feeding and chambering. We're going to look for extraction and ejection patterns. Okay. And what I also want to look for on the last round is last round lockup of the slide and the magazine follower engaging the slide stop. Okay. So again, safe, depress the grip safety, squeeze trigger, nothing should happen. Drop it, drop the safety, no grip safety, nothing should happen. Engage the grip safety, squeeze the trigger, hold it, go ahead and rack the slide. Okay, and I'm going to listen for the metallic click. We'll do it again. Okay, now we have slide lockup. So the follower is engaged, slide stop, and holding that slide to the rear because the magazine is empty. Okay, so for part 2, we're assessing the trigger feel, but I'm going to use 3 snap caps loaded in a magazine. And I'm going to use a Wheeler trigger gauge. So we'll go ahead, we'll chamber the first snap cap, making sure I depress the grip safety. I'm going to apply the trigger gauge to the trigger and pull back until it breaks. Okay, so the first trigger squeeze was 5 pounds 4.5 ounces. Okay, We're going to do a 3-pull average. Okay. We got 5.84. And the final is 5.81, which gives us an average of 5 pounds, 6.4 ounces. You know, overall, I think the trigger on this one is pretty good. We'll do one by feel, snap cap. We're going to drop the slide, go from safe to fire, and then we'll do a solid simple pull and feeling the trigger bow, and it is, I have very little travel after the break, very little creep. I'm happy with it for now, so we'll continue to move on. Okay, so for part 3, we're going to measure the barrel for barrel length, and I have a wooden dowel with 2 sets of marks. Let's see if we can get it. So the blue marks are full 1-inch increments, the red marks are 1/2-inch increments. So what I'm going to do is, I can't do it with the slide open because obviously I will get a much larger, almost just over 6.5, probably 6 3/4, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the slide, make sure it's on safe. I've got no ammunition in here, and all I'm going to do is slide the rod to the breech face. Okay. If I didn't have a rod with marks, I would mark a rod, pull it out, and on this rod, see if we can't, we got 5 inches. So this is a 5-inch barrel, which is correct for a 1911 A1 service pistol. And we will go on to part 4, twist rate. So for barrel twist, what I've got here is I've got a jag with a patch inserted in the muzzle end. I've got a rotating cleaning rod with a flag up on top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my flag at the 12 o'clock position, and I'm going to push the jag all the way through to the quarter position. I'm going to mark that on the cleaning rod. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and follow through. Pull this back out. Move the vise, and I'm going to measure between my marks. Okay, so on this front mark, I have it at the very end of the jag. So we will mark so we're at 4 inches. 4 times 4 is 16, and 1 full revolution in 16 inches is what our TSOS 1911 barrel twist rate. For some, you can go online and you can verify that information on the manufacturer's website, but this is a general practice that you can use to determine that. So for part 5, we've got headspace, go, no go. I've got a no go gauge here and a go gauge here. Good thing about this test is you are working with a field strip slide assembly. I'm going to start off with the no go gauge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert it behind the extractor and ensure it is in place, and then I'm going to simply slide the barrel into place and make sure everything is lined up. And what I'm looking for when this is going on is the full lockup or lack thereof. So this slide and barrel does not give you a full lockup. You can see the slight gap there. So this is not giving a full lockup with the cartridge inserted and the gauge. So another thing with this is you can inspect your extractor tension. If I've got my go gauge or no go gauge in there and it is held in and it's not loose and flapping around, I've got adequate tension on that spring steel. So now we're going to go with the go gauge. Same principle. We're going to insert it, make sure it's behind the claw on the extractor, and then we're going to insert the barrel and make sure it's lined up. We're not going to force anything at this point. Should just go right in. Okay, so now again what we're looking for is full lockup of the barrel to the slide. And we can see that we have full lockup. Everything is mating up good inside that slide. We've got full lockup, and that would be a good to go.